Welcome, folks, to the third experiment as the race to the Premiership continues. We've done Man United, we've done Man City, and now we're on to Liverpool. And as you can see in front of you, Liverpool have looks like they've gone straight through to the top. So, let's jump straight into matters. Let's have a look at their journey so far. Have they got to the Premiership? It looks like they have done. So let's have a look at the competitions and see how well they have done. So we left them in the Northwest Division 1 North. So this is the division where all the North teams are going to go into, and then the South are going to go into another one in the South, and then the Midlands clubs have a Midlands. We're just going to have a generic one for all of them, no matter where they are. They may have gone to a different division in their respective areas, but we're just going to take certain areas out. It may not be a true figure, so if you use we could have just used one division for everybody, so everybody has the same sort of chance and same sort of path, but it just wouldn't be realistic. So Liverpool, straight away, you can see they get their way up into the Vanarama North, unbeaten. They reached the National, 2 losses, but they still win the league quite convincingly. League 2 and League 1 smashed them convincingly as well. Well, we'll say convincingly. We're guessing that is the case. They do finish 3rd in the Championship, though. I'm assuming they get through the playoffs, or is that an automatic spot? I'm not quite sure. We'll have a look when we're going to look through the fixtures. And the first season in the Premiership looks like they've gone straight back down. Oopsie. But that's not going to count. It has taken them 9 seasons to get here, though. But along the way, they have won 8 league titles. They didn't concede a goal in the first season in the league, but very, very good 100% record all the way. They had a draw in the Vanarama North in that season. The Vanarama National, 2 losses and 4, so probably not as well as the other ones when it comes to the lower leagues, but Liverpool do win them straight through. But the Championship they did struggle on ever so slightly. So let's have a look at the bank first before we have a look at the fixtures. They've got 224 million, so they're still rich. That's good. £55 million transfer budget, and they're just under the wage budget as well. But they've been relatively good. Fixtures then, so if we just move it back to the start, away we go. So they were in the Champions League as well, going through all the competitions, very much unbeaten. They did lose to Borussia Dortmund, though, 1-0 away from home, but they did smash them 3-0 at home. So the wins are continuing. Nice to see a 7-0 victory. I'm expecting big victories, though, along the way. 8-0 there, Blackpool. Very nice. And Liverpool, look at that, just a sea of green everywhere. 10-0, we get our first double-digit victory there. 10-0, poor Steaton. They didn't stand a chance, did they, at all? Salah with 2. We got Jota, we got Alex Chamberlain, we got Mane, Glatzel, I'm not sure who is. Van Dijk even scored. Alex gets sent off near the end, and Gomez scores as well. But yeah, a 10-0 victory. I think that's the first one we've had out the 3 experiments up to date. But here the first couple of losses coming in. They lose to Man City in the first leg of the quarterfinal Champions League. They do win the second leg, but I believe that knocked them out. They lose to Arsenal in the FA Cup quarterfinals. Did they get through to the final of any of the other cup competitions? The Vars, they win that 3-0 against Plymouth Parkway. Did they get another cup competition in there? I'm sure they did. Maybe I'm mistaken, but yeah, not bad. But they lose out towards the end of the competitions in the other big ones. So let's move on to the following season then. Ostend, they lost 2-1 that in the friendlies. But then they start their charge again up the pyramid, and once again the wins will just keep coming and coming and coming. There's a 9-0 victory there against Mossley. Excellent victory there. They lose in the second round of the FA Cup there to Colchester on penalties. They're continuing in the FA Vars and the League Cup as well. They win the League Cup 3-0, and they continue to the final of the FA Vars as well. North Ferriby beating them 3-0, and they were in the Club World Championship as well. I'm not sure where that left them, but they did beat Boca and Kaiser Chiefs 3-0 both games. I'm not sure whether that where it ended. So does that continue to the following season? Yeah, they did. Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. So it's a little bit bizarre that it starts at the end of the last season and then continues the following season. A little bit odd, but again, losing their way again in the friendlies, choosing to play the bigger teams. Real Madrid again losing 2-0 that time. But again, they start the league relatively well. In fact, there's no losses at all, is there? They're losing the FA Cup 3rd round to West Ham, though. There's an 8-0 there as well, straight after. There's an 8-0 up there against Daisy Hill. So they're still scoring the goals, though, which is quite nice to see. but progressing to the cup competitions. The League Cup final, Warrington 4-1 winners there, and they get to the FA Vase once again 3-0 against Greenwich. Very good indeed. Big wins. Nice. So Liverpool continuing there. This time they start off unbeaten. The Seoul, Guggenheim and Lazio. So they start off relatively well. The wins are still coming in, and they lose the first game way in February this time. So nearly a full year without a loss. But FA Cup 5th round, losing to Norwich. The Velocity Trophy final, they win that 2-1 against Hemel. And again, they get themselves to the FA Trophy final, of which they win this time 2-1 against Chester. Again, big wins along. I mean, the wins are not coming as big. There's a few ones. There's a 5-0 there, a 4-0 there. So they are relatively starting to ease off on the goal trail. But they start off with a wins here in the Vanarama North. Wow, I mean, look at this. It's just 7-0 there against Blythe Spartans, 6-0 there against Burgess Hill. And they're just continuing their story. They're losing the FA Cup 3rd round again to Leeds this time on penalties. But they do get themselves in the cup competitions, carrying on and on and on and on. There's just no end to it at all. The Southern League Cup final, they beat Corby 3-1. They get to the final of the FA Trophy once again, 2-0 this time against Barrow. They lose to Leyton Orient. So we're in the Vanarama National now. So that's probably their first loss in quite a while. And again, the wins just keep coming. There's a 5-0 there, 5-0 there as well. But the 5th round, they get to the FA Cup, this time losing to Tottenham 3-1. But they're continuing in the FA Trophy, which they seem to like quite a lot. And this time, in fact, I'm just going to have a look. I'm just intrigued as to see past winners. So it must be Liverpool won it 4 times on the bounce. The following season, they're not so good in the friendlies, but they're in the Papa Johns now in League 2. Again, we know that they won this league, and look at that, 7-0 against Three Bridges that was the FA Trophy, so it's not the FA Vase anymore, it's the FA Trophy. They do lose to Bradford, and they lost in the quarter-finals of the Papa Johns to Arsenal under 23s, no less. A couple of losses there in the league. FA Trophy quarter-final, lose to Man United. I've got a grin on my face once again, that's nice. And they get to the final of the FA Trophy, and they continue in. I'm just intrigued as to who won that one as well. They win it for 4 years on the bounce as well. Excellent. So the trophy, the Vase, they're just dominating Liverpool. They do like a good cup competition. So the Carabao Cup, they get knocked out in the first round against Doncaster. The Papa Johns, they're continuing the fine form in the cup competitions. Second round to lose to Arsenal under 23s. They've knocked them out of the cup competition again. But they do recover to beat Altrincham in the FA Cup first round though. They lose in the third though to Southampton 3-1. And that is about it. And then they just try and get through to the next division. But yeah, I think, did they go through? Did they win the league in this one? They might have done, actually. They very well might have done. So they're into the Championship. And again, they start off pretty decently, and then they just fade away ever so slightly. But the wins do keep on coming. The Carabao Cup, I'm guessing they're just not interested in that competition whatsoever. Plymouth and Nottingham Forest beat them there. Arsenal under 23s, they beat them in the Papa Johns in the group stage this time, and I think they go through, probably knocking Arsenal out. FA Cup 4th round, they beat Exeter 4-0. They start to find a little bit of form, but they're losing the Papa Johns to Doncaster in the 3rd round, and then they lose to the FA Cup 4th round to Norwich, this time 2-0. I think Norwich are in the same division as they are. Possibly not, they might have been in the Premiership, we don't know at this point. But yeah, they're making their way, and I think they got to the playoffs. They did. So the top 2 get promoted. They finished 3rd, I think they did. But they lose to Brentford in the first leg, but beat them on penalties after taking it to extra time in the second leg. And then they beat Leeds in the final, and then they get to the Premiership. We'll just have a quick nosy. They started off pretty badly, but the Carabao Cup this time round, they get to the 3rd round. Not bothered about it previous seasons, but they were this time, losing on penalties to Sheffield United. But a lot of losses here. Man City they're losing to. They've just lost a lot of games. They beat Tottenham there. They beat Norwich there. So Norwich were in the Premiership though. But the FA Cup they are going forward, but they do lose to Wolves in the 5th round though. United beat them 3-2. Did they beat them last time as well? Maybe. Yeah, they lost 2-0 to them last time as well. But yeah, it's pretty harsh for them to say the least, but they have got relegated, very much so, and it's harsh for them. It really is. It'd be interesting to see what sort of players. In fact, let's have a quick look at the squad now. Let's have a look at the squad. Who have they got? Do we know any of these players? Please let me know in the comments below if you know any of these. Rowan Nelson probably rings a bell. Danny Lowe, no idea. Gonzalo Ruiz, Dale Frey. I'm sure he was with Middlesbrough before. I'm sure he had a thing with Middlesbrough. Yeah, I'm sure I reckon he's a defender, isn't he? Sure he's a defender. Yeah, he is. Not bad at all. He's been Liverpool 2 seasons. Yeah, didn't do really too well this season though, did he? They're just gone. There's James Garner. Phil King. I'm just picking these names out randomly. I'm not sure if these are all regens or not, but a big squad there soon, but there's not a lot of players we actually recognise there, or I recognise there at least. So let's have a look at the transfers and see what sort of business they have done, because I'm assuming they lost a lot of players as soon as they got to well, we're not quite sure actually. It could have been quite a while. So let's have a quick look at nobody in that the 2021 season right at the very beginning, but they do offload a couple of players. So not much business there. They're trying to keep hold of a lot of players, but they do bring in Bednarik from Southampton, the defender. £20 million there. Serge? I don't know. Serge, we're going to go Figueiredo from Forest as well, 2.7. But they're 174 minutes, so they are starting to ship a load out, I feel. Up to 43 million for Joe Gomez. Fabinho went to Tottenham for 35 million. Did he actually have a good season in the lower leagues? 1 goal in 6, yeah. I'd get rid of him as well, to be perfectly honest. Trent Alexander-Arnold, who went to Newcastle. They offloaded quite a lot of young players. 31 years old now. 2 goals, 6 assists. Not pretty great, though, to be fair. Origi went to West Ham. Again, let's have a quick look. Did he score? I mean, he was off and on in that Liverpool, though. But 7 goals in 7. Not fantastic, though, to be fair. Jota, he went to Juventus for 24 million. Very decent player, and 8 goals in 12. Not very prolific. What's happened to it? I mean, they scored a lot of goals, so where's the goals all come from? Harry Wilson, Ojo, Lewis, some of these guys we're not really quite sure who they are, but again they offload a lot of more players. Alisson, the goalkeeper, going to Chelsea. Bednarik, they just brought him in and he's went to Fulham. Chiesa, Leicester. They brought only this Aurora in, and only a couple of games. Interesting. They offload him. Shaqiri's went to Bournemouth for 6 million. How well did he? In fact, we can't really see his stats. Not in the game anymore. Nico Williams to Southampton. Figueiredo, 2 million to Atlanta. Yeah, there's a lot of it. James Milner, he went on a free to Wolves. Losing all the big players. So Firmino, he went to Atletico Madrid. Do we get to see any of his? So he was with them in the 3. Not an awful lot. Not much of a difference at all, though. But they made inroads with Atletico. They're 20 goals in 32. I mean, did he score? Yeah, 23 in 42. 10 in 24 there. He's still with them, though. Van Dijk went to Barcelona. Robertson to Bournemouth. Torreira to Anderlecht. And then Ostergaard to Brentford. And Padu to Bournemouth. Matip went to Levante as well. Any other players in there? So they did start losing. Jordan Henderson went to Wolves on the free, so they are bagging a few. Wolves are. I don't think they've got many more players to lose. Mo Salah, he went for £18 million. They've got rid of Mo Salah. How well did? I don't think we're going to get to see much of a history. We're not. That's disappointing. I'm disappointed by that. Can we not see what he did? 179 goals in 223 for Liverpool. That is absolutely amazing. And then 15 goals in 62. For Chelsea there. I would have liked to have seen what he did in the lower leagues. £36 million spent that season. Anybody really of note? Nobody really. George Sanchez, Ryan Cassidy. I'm not sure who some of these players are, so I do apologise. 23 million. Harvey Elliott went to Crystal Palace. Timon's gone to Torino. And £86 million spent as well. Who have they spent the money on? 27 million for Oliver Skip, Rugani, and the Barca. Ryan Fraser. Bournemouth chap, wasn't he? He was, yeah. Didn't do too bad, and then they sold him to a Turkish team as well. Carry on going. £87 million let go. Barca, Skip. So some of the players are brought in, they let go virtually straight away. Obviously, not fitting into their plans. But there's Ryan Fraser, again, went for 1.1 million. Yeah, we saw. But yeah, a lot of players, really, I'm assuming they're all the youngsters coming through. And then £18 million spent, £60 million on Kyle, left back. He's been with them for a few seasons, then he went to Leeds. Just losing £500,000 on him, not an awful lot. Akepong, Bobson, Akepong. Love it. Right, okay, moving along a little bit more. 800,000 there, 1.5 million there. Nothing really brilliant there, is there? Not an awful lot of money. Obviously being very frugal in their spending. Kyle went the following season. 60 million, but who did they spend 150 million? James Garner from Newcastle. Looks pretty decent actually. And yeah, not a very good season. So they get relegated. I'm going to start offloading. I bet they offload quite a lot of players the following season. I bet they do. 26 million for Marcel Evans. Arsenal again, 20 million there. Tottenham 17 million. Dale Fry from Burnley, 16 million. Not bad at all. But yeah, not really any big players. You probably would not like Man City. Like they spent 330 odd million in one season. That is just crazy. But the following season, 24 million. Who did they actually let go? Did they let go of anybody? Yeah, I think they still got them players then, obviously. And spend another 77 million. 35 million on James Garner. Oh, that was the end of last season, I guess. And Barlow, 27 million. So yeah, quite surprising, to say the least. Let's have a look at who's in charge very, very quickly. Let's go to club info, managers. Right, okay. This is really interesting. So 5 league wins, cup wins as well. And I think the last time they were in the pitching and so they get promoted, but they still want to let him go. 96% win percentage. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. 8 losses in a lot of games. Not as much as Pep, though, it has to be said. But Klopp went. Then Danny Cowley as manager. He was there for 3 years. 3 league wins and 4 cup wins. 84% win percentage. Then somebody who was there for caretaker is just there for a few days. Dean Smith again left after just not even reaching a year. 50% win ratio there. Rampage again interim. He was just hanging around. He was not losing many games though, was he? This guy here, Almeida, sacked, not even reaching a year. 51% win percentage, but he was sacked. Ramage again taking over as an interim. And then we've got Giovinco, who's still there, 197 days into the job, 27 win percentage. And he's just, I reckon he'll be the next one to be sacked. Just so we have a quick look and see what their percentage and wages. So salary, 85 million compared to Chelsea, to United, City. So big comparison for when Liverpool make it to the Premiership. So yeah, they are rich though. Not as rich as Man City. Man City were amazingly rich. But Liverpool get to the Premiership and it looks like they go straight down. So if we have a look at the table now, it does show Liverpool top of the 3 currently, with 9 seasons to get to the Premiership with 8 league titles. Man United second with 9 and 7. Man City 11 seasons to get to the Premiership with 7 league titles. But out of the 3, Liverpool have gone straight back down. Right, we're going to leave it here, folks. But next experiment will be, I reckon, with Chelsea. See how Chelsea do. And if you enjoy that, please put a thumbs up on there. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. And we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.